Alright, here with two tables of 10 NL Zoom this time. And I've played a little bit of 10 NL Zoom over the last day or so, and it's gone absolutely awfully to start with. So let's hope things can improve a bit. This doesn't look great on the left. Um, Spades get there. Do we bet or do we slow down? I think we just have to bet. The guy's not got a huge stack. The way things have gone so far, we get 3-bet immediately here. Obviously, a terrible run out, all the spades, and I have to hope he just checks 9-5. Yeah, so far it has been appalling. I think I'm down 5 buy-ins, about 500 hands, just atrocious. Some of it I could have done something about. Quite a lot of it I don't think I could. There was queens versus kings, button against small blind. I think I could do there. Ace king v10s was probably a little unnecessary. Um, Couple of bluffs that went bad. One where I got called down by a guy with 9-2. I 3-bet him pre, and yeah, then he check called down after flopping a 2. I had ace 5 of spades, so I felt a little bit silly on that hand. And as you can see there, this session, not off to the greatest start already with the ace 10 hand. So queen 10 here closing the action. I think this is going to be a call. Now we're just going to throw it away. But we'll persist at this level. My spin and goes lately have gone really very well, so they've kind of paid for my 10NL shot. My 5NL spell went really well, so I have decided to move up. But like I say, it has started badly. I think I've noticed already that it is more aggressive. Play is better, as you probably would expect, going up a stake, that the standard of play is going to be a little bit better. It probably doesn't play too differently. There's a few less of these players who are playing weird stack sizes, playing like 35 big blinds and stuff like that. You don't see as many. And I haven't got the auto top up on yet. I'm going to wait to do that. King Jack offsuit. I think under the gun will just fold. Let's hope we can turn things around. But say early days, you don't really know whether you can beat a stake properly until you've played. I would think certainly at least 20,000 hands, probably a lot more than that, really, when you take into account variance. We'll play about 300 hands or so, unless things go really badly, and we might cut the session a bit short. So pocket fives, I think it's okay to call here. So probably working some 3-bets with these hands. It's always the problem of these small pocket pairs. You just get these kind of boards where it's really difficult to know what to do. And I think we can check call. Get 3-bet. I think with jacks, it's okay to 4-bet and get it in. We're getting 3-bet an awful lot. Fives, I could have even gone for a blow. We'll call off with the jacks. And again, we run into a strong hand. It's getting a little ridiculous. Well, kind of glad that we ran. Well, I say we're glad we ran it twice. I suppose we got lucky there, and well, we did. When I say no, suppose about it, we did. But that's incredible. Like I've been 3-bet a lot, and when I 4-bet with a hand like jacks, which I wouldn't always get jacks in, but when you get 3-bet a lot, you start to feel like I must be being run over. But actually, people have kind of tended to have it. So struggling to start with. With the fives hand, I didn't actually see what the guy had. Did he have kings? He had kings. Jesus. Boy. So is that Jack's kind of punty, do you think, at 10 and L? Is that something that you really just shouldn't be getting in, even cut off against button, it feels like it's probably okay to four bet call it off. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a bit punty. Raise it up, get called, do flop top pair, but it's not exactly the kind of board we want to be betting. I think we'll check back, hope for a good turn. It's a good turn for our range, but not a good turn for our hand. We'll bet half pot. And on this board here, we'll bet third. And we'll check back our sixth and lose. So far, I'm not even going to bet this Jack 10. So far, this has been unmitigated disaster. Now, he shouldn't have too many strong aces. Is he going to have a lot of like small pocket pairs that just call the flop, or is he going to have a lot of like ace 10 kind of hands? Yeah, he's got ace jack. Oh boy. I think betting into three people here though with sevens just can't be the right play. King 9 in position. Cool. Really god awful flop. His stats are super tight. I'll check it. So maybe I should. I don't know whether I need to tighten up or whether this is just a sort of unfortunate start. Whether I've played particularly badly, I'm not sure. If I, if it continues to go really bad, there's no problem with dropping down. I don't have to play at these stakes, right? Flopping it's a decent flop. We'll bet half pot on this board. And okay, against this guy actually here, when he just min three bets off that kind of stack, I think the easiest play actually is just to shove. I don't really know what he's doing it with, but we'll just put the chips in. I think he's going to have so much just stupid stuff. Oh, he's got ace queen. Okay, so we are ahead. And we win, so a bit more of that, please. That was nice. Raise that with ace jack of diamonds. Get cool. Get a bad flop. We do have the backdoor diamonds, a couple of overs. I think it's okay to check this one back. I think it's also kind of board I want to check back some over pairs as well to have some strong hands in my check back range. But now I think we just want to get this to a showdown. It does have some showdown value. Bad river. And I don't think we want to call. We just don't really beat much. And we can beat random stuff like ace 5 and ace 7, but I don't particularly want to start calling with ace high. Okay, raise up with ace king. We don't really get a very good flop, but I think we'll get c-bet for a third on this board. Getting a few hands, to be fair. Kings as well, so getting a few hands. Still down for the session, but getting a few hands. Get three bet with the jacks. This time we are just going to call. I don't think I want to get it in under the gun against button. Unfortunately, I don't get any action with the kings. And get one of those boards with the jacks. That's kind of interesting. You get the undercards. Are we up against another big pocket pair? got some reasonably aggressive stats, although it's not over too many hands. So we'll check it over to him and see if he wants to bet this time. We can check raise. Okay, he does bet. If he has Queen 10, this will stink. Yeah, I think this is an okay sizing. Will ISO with ace-5 suited. Oh my god, has he got 8 Queen 10? He's got 9-8, so maybe things are looking up slightly. Maybe things are looking up slightly. Pocket Jacks has been our friend, and we flopped top 2 over here, so maybe whinging like a baby is the way to go. Oh. We got a little overexcited there with our top 2 pair. I was surprised on the left there. He had 9-8 and flopped top 2, and he checked back the flop. Seems like a slightly unusual play. 5-6 off, even to a min raise or fold. And open up the ace deuce suited. And open up the 8-9 suited. And we flop trips. We'll go for a very small c bet. 8-9 suited, not a hand we usually want to call 3 bets with. And we make a full house here. So I think we'll just bet. And we'll bet 80%. Oh. Disappointing, but when you've got the board sort of locked up that hard, it's difficult to get called. Now we have aces, so we get some action with these. Fairly clear 3 bet. And we'll go to 9. And we'll check back here. And I think we'll go ahead and bet the king. We will blast away on this card just about every time. Disappointing. I've had aces on the right and kings and got no action with either. Don't think it was the sizing that was an issue. It's just now spades get there. I think we just want to check this back. Lucky river. I don't think that we can bet there. Maybe we could. It's getting a little bit thin, and the spades got there as well, so it would really stink to bet there and get check raised. We get 3 bet, and this is something that's been very clear compared to 5NL, that there is just a lot more 3 betting. My 3 bet percentage is painfully low. So I suspect that when you get here, there's more regs, people making good use of the HUDs and the stats, and I suspect my fold to 3 bet percentage is quite high if I check it out. And the players at the table will notice that and 3 bet more aggressively. Okay, so this guy's got not much of a stack, but for a min raise, I think pocket 6 is definitely going to be a call. Not the flop we wanted. And I think just the check fold is going to be the order of the day. Even to a min raise, I think Jack 3 off is just so feeble. We'll just let it go. Same with 4-8 off, it's just too trashy. And we'll open up the ace 3 suited, and we'll go for a small raise here trying to steal. This guy doesn't have much of a stack. Get called by a guy in the big blind, and again another one of these types of flops that we're not really in love with. We'll check it back. Clearly a nice turn. Jack 10 off. And we'll check this one back too. We'll go for a river bet instead. And we'll call that. So like I say, we'll play about 300 hands, 140 something hands in at the moment. And a min raise, king 3 of spades, probably just okay to call. And this is probably the kind of flop that is often why you don't call, because you flop top pair and now it's not necessarily easy to know exactly what to do with them. I mean, clearly it's just a hand that you're going to check call with. Oh, Christ. Oh, is he ever going to do this with anything other than just an ace? From what we've seen so far, the answer is no. Like when people have bet like that on the river, pretty much they've had it each time, as with the Queen 6 just a moment ago on the right. Yeah, we get 3-bet again, and may have to sort of going to have to come up with some 4-bet bluffs. This is not going to be the hand to do it with. And we will go for a bet on this board. We do flop top pair and just really wanted to go away. 6-8 of hearts. I think I'm just going to fold. I'm trying to get more concerned. Don't start calling with that kind of stuff because it's something I used to do so much. Oh, it's a pretty looking suited connector. I'll call, flop nothing, and then get just dribble chips away endlessly with those sorts of plays. Okay, so this guy in the big blind is just 3-bet is kind of active. And we are really deep, so I think I actually just would prefer to just call with my ace king suited. We don't flop anything. Fives on the right. We're going to bet again. We can certainly bluff on that card. I think I want to call here with my ace king of diamonds. Here, I do think we want to bet. We may have the best hand, but he might fold a jack if we bet here. Ace king of diamonds, is there any point betting this? We'll probably get him to fold the same hand. He really has the same hand here a lot, but he also might have hands like he checks so far. He might have nines or tens as well. Yeah, that might have been because we read that correctly. Maybe the best play there would have been to bet, but when you're targeting just like one specific hand and ignoring lots of other hands in his range, like nines and tens, I think could play it like that, and they would just snap call. So maybe that was a missed opportunity. Okay, kings. And nobody wants to play, so we'll just raise it up from the small. Everybody goes away. So you can't complain about the cards in this session because the cards have been really good. Um, and the hand cards been kind to us. Certainly the jacks against kings where we split the pot, running it twice. That was kind to us. And then pocket jacks was very kind to us again against the 8-9. The only thing it hasn't been too kind with us is when we've had aces and kings, no one's really wanted to play. The stat I've got here that's really concerning is my 3-bet percentage, which is just so low. I'm not sure that we've passed up too many opportunities to 3-bet. All right, pocket nines, under the gun raise. I think nines works pretty well as a call. We get a call from the guy on the button. Raise up the ace jack. Oh, cool. We don't flop a nine. I'll go for a small c bet with the ace jack. And really bad card on the left. We're just going to be checking and giving up. Checks again. He checks again also, and the board has not run out particularly favourably. I think we could say so. We'll just check our nines and hope that they've both got small pocket pairs. They do. That was a pot that nobody wanted to have a stab at. What did they have? Let's take a look. Must have had two 9-8 suited and 10-8 suited. Okay. And we get a call from the big blind, and we get a flop which we miss, but we'll just go for a third again. And deuces we'll just throw away from under the gun. And we'll open the ace deuce against the big blind. He's got a lot of chips and looks pretty active. He calls. We flop two pairs. We'll just do a standard third pot. Called Queen Jack had a lot of these kinds of boards, these sort of middling cards, which we haven't connected with. On the right-hand table, we haven't really flopped too many hands. I think this time we'll go ahead and check it back with continuation bet a lot. I think this is a card that we can fire. It's good for our very good for our range and not even too bad for our hand. Nines, again, I'm okay with just calling this. I don't think we would necessarily want to 3-bet. Really not a very nice board. And he gets checks back. We'll check and call, I think. We have the 9 of spades. We've got a really tiddly spade. Are we better off betting or are we better off checking and trying to pick off a bluff? I think we're probably going to try and pick off a bluff. Yeah, he can have an ace or a queen of spades, but I'm surprised he didn't have a bluff there. He didn't have a spade. He had ace 8, no spade. King 10 against a button open. I think this is okay to call with. And like I said, my three bet percentage is so low, so I think I'm going to have to try and find a few more spots to three bet. Certainly, we're going to call against the third pot, and we flop to pair. Bad card. I'm expecting we're going to get bet at big on this card a lot. He doesn't. He checks back. So you have a lot of Queen X here. Do we have showdown? We need to bluff. The problem is when we check, he's going to bet a lot, even if he doesn't have a queen. It's a card he should be checking. He has 6-7, so he has the straight. And eights again. We've got players who haven't got that many chips to our left. So if we three that, we would have to call off, which I don't necessarily want to do. So calling is again is okay. And it's a very small. Right, so we're going to have to call here. I don't really want anyone behind jamming, which they certainly could, but for this price, definitely going to have to call. That's a shame. Huge pot brewing and a lovely little 8 high board wouldn't have gone amiss, would it? Sadly, it's not there. Well, someone's saying he likes his hand. What we got then? Ace Queen, Ace 4, and Ace Jack. Okay. Pocket four was out of position. It's kind of a tough hand to play. Or Ace 8 King there. How sweet would that have been, eh? How sweet would that have been? Because they're all going to do the same thing. We will open up the Ace 10. Okay, small blind calls us. Got no stats on him, so he must have just sat down. It's a big squeeze. I just don't think we can do much with it. We want to start banging it all in with like Ace 10 offsuit. I don't think so. So this is something I'm going to have to just try and work out how to get used to. Is people doing that more? Because I think when you play 5 and L, often you don't get tested as much, or really that much at all, because people are tend to be very passive. So you can get away with raising a lot and not facing many three bets or squeezes. Still going to be raising reasonably wide on the button. So pocket jacks, which has been our friend so far. I think three bet is okay here. It isn't under the gun raise. This guy looks reasonably active. God almighty. It's just should we not be three betting under the gun raises anymore with jacks? Jacks has become a real nightmare. I've barely three bet more or less the first time we do, we get four bet. I mean, what is this going to be? Kings, the range of hands here, jacks does so badly against it that people are doing that with. I think it's aces, kings, queens, and ace king. How often is he going to have like ace 10 there, or even ace queen when you're flipping? So I don't know. It just feels like it's a fold, but just feels so nitty. Maybe I should just not three bet against an under the gun raiser. Maybe that's the mistake there. But like I say, we're early days in our 10 NL adventures. Immediately get three bet. King Queen off. It's quite a big three bet. I think we can probably call this in position, and if we get a king high or queen high ball, have to go with it. Okay, we're definitely going to have to go with it on that board. I think we just want to raise, maybe give some room in case he has got a bluff in him. All right, well that's fine. Calling there as well may be fine, but happy just to take it down. Tens, we're going to go for a check back here. And now that he checks twice, we are going to bet. What do we get called by? It's maybe a bit weak again. A6 offsuit, blind. Go for a third C bet on the right, get called. Get a nice turn card. I think we do want to bet. Yeah, we'll bet reasonably big. Now that we've got the open ender. Puts pressure on his hands like 5-6, and he took a long time to call there. I don't know if he. Oh, jeez. I don't know if he's going to have like pocket sevens anymore when he calls, when he just donks the river. And if you look at his stats, it really does look like this is just going to be a queen. Slightly frustrating, but we'll have to let it go. So we'll play about 20 more hands. There's one more big hand, probably. There you go, mate. Well, ace king, it's a decent starting hand at least. There we get called by a guy who's playing half stack. And we don't connect with the flop. We'll go for a check, and we'll go for a check call. I don't always want to see bet every single board. And may well just check call with it twice. Okay, so I think this is so kind of crap because he's going to have a lot of just Jack 10 and like pocket sixes just doing this. Should we just block? I guess we're just going to bet for a small sizing. Don't want to get raised. Yeah, okay. Nice river. Nice river. Maybe we're winning the whole way, but I don't necessarily think so. So 5 more hands and we'll call it a session. We'll sit out next big blind on both tables. King 10 off against a button open. Go ahead and call. If we had a club in our hand here, we would definitely check raise. I'm going to bet now. I'm going to bet quite large. Get called. And I do think we want to bet again. Or do we? Loads of stuff misses. Like, he could have a hand like ace 10 himself. The problem is if he has any pair, it's never going to fold just because all the drawers miss. Partly I want to check and just see what people are playing with. So I think he's going to check back himself quite a bit here. Like, I don't know what hand this is. Would Queen X check the flop? He may well be bluffing, but he could easily be bluffing with a better hand than King High. So we might have to start getting a little bit braver and actually just betting a bit more in those sorts of spots because I can be tempted to wimp out quite a lot. All right, we'll raise it up with the ace ten of spades. Get called, and yeah, we don't flop anything, but we'll go for a half pot c bet. Get called. Again, difficult to see that we can do much here. I'm not sure what's going to call the flop that's now going to fold. And if he checks, which he doesn't, I think we're just going to have to give it up. And what have we got again? Even the bluffs like Queen 10 could have a heart. We've got a 10, so we partially block that. Okay, so session over. And what have we got on the table? 26, 74, 27.03. So up about $7. So that's not too bad. Made a little bit back from the amount I've lost. Still got a way go to recoup my losses. I think I played a little bit timidly. I've got a lot of work to do on my game. Um, but maybe I need to practice more. Maybe actually do a little bit of study every now and again. But I'll persist at this limit because I don't think it's beyond me. I just need to get a little bit more practice. If anyone's still watching, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Bye bye.